Hello, I am live. Oh, there's already people in here. How are you guys doing? Let me turn this off top chat to live chat so I can see you guys. Hello, She Moved Mountains, Christine, Homestead in the Highlands, Deborah, the Toasted Rabbit. How are you guys doing? I need to get this on my phone because I always mess with it on my computer. It makes my computer shake. Maya is eating dinner like over on the other end of the table. He'll be over here in just a second. So we were shooting a video outside this evening and kind of ran out of time. I had to run in here and cook dinner really fast. We're always rushing on Sunday evenings thanks to doing lives. So what's for dinner? I made shrimp Alfredo pasta for dinner. That's what he's eating. If you notice, like last week we ate shrimp and grits. That's kind of like Sunday things. We are both of us are kind of a little foggy today. It's just really yucky, and we've had just some cold stuff going on. We both have been so covered in essential oils for the last week that I don't know. It's funny because like the other day I woke up and I had not put any essential oils on yet, and I was just all clogged up and stuff. And Maya came over and he kissed me good morning. He was up before me, and all of a sudden I started coughing because all the essential oils on him started breaking it up in my own chest. So yeah, Lone Star Living. I don't know if it's just allergies or what. I got nervous this week because we had, I knew we were exposed to the flu and all that, but I don't think that's what it is. I think it might just be allergies. My walk is going great, Agnes. We still haven't got the other one. I thought you were asking about the cast iron one's great. I've cooked in it multiple times, but we haven't gotten the other one cleared out yet. Heifers. All the heifers are here. Somebody tagged me yesterday that their heifer mug had come in the merch. So, Cheryl, oh my gosh, you're live. I love you guys. Thank you, Cheryl. So, Shannon, I can't go to South Arkansas this time of year without getting just miserably sick. I don't know what it is. And I never had allergies here until I moved away. And I lived in Texas for a while. I lived in East Tennessee for a while. And I was gone for like 3 or 4 years. And when I came back, my allergies have been awful here every year. But South Arkansas just like kills me from like February to April. I just can't even do it. So, Donald, we actually started the window greenhouse. So we put a little sneak peek in it in the vlog that'll be up tomorrow. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my computer. So I see I've got several of my mods here. There's Big Bear Homestead. I saw Rose. Hey, you guys. I saw Heirloom Permaculture come in. Yep. So yes, you can grow pink celery, Lynn. I'm planning on growing pink celery. I know that, they grow it up at Baker Creek and they're 6B, so we should certainly be able to grow it here in 7, but I'm actually starting it. There's so many beautiful people in here. I agree, Rose. Yeah, Samantha, I don't know if it's vitamin D. Every single day that it has been sunny, we have been outside like the entire day. I was talking about it in the vlog that I shot today, but I saw this thing on Facebook that said, that we have to make sure that we get our vitamin D and hydrate, and that we're basically houseplants with more complicated emotions. And I was realizing the fact that I used to hate being in the basement. Like I hated being in the basement. I would avoid being down there all the time because I hate being in rooms with no light. It just makes me feel yucky. But with those grow lights down there, I've just spent so much time down there sorting through seeds. I was like, I really think it's the grow lights. I think I'm like a plant. I like the light. I don't know. Is that so silly? So, I want to do Q&A tonight. There's 180 degrees from average in Goldshaw Farm. today, Morgan, Goldshaw Farm, and I, we're on a call for a little while this afternoon. He's actually starting a really cool podcast, and we recorded, I'm going to be one of the interviews on his podcast that it should be like next month that it comes out. But it's going to be a really, really awesome resource. I'm so excited that he's getting that podcast going. I love listening to podcasts. And so I'm really pumped to be able to be on it, but also just that it's going to exist. Someone asked me what I'm drinking. I'm drinking, it's like hibiscus tea. I don't know. My friend Lauren made it. It's got some herbs from my garden and some that she got in Jerusalem and then some that she got from Mountain Rose, but she just made me these tea bags. It's really good. It's my last one. It's my last tea bag from Lauren. Marion, Arkansas, when to plant peas. I don't know where Marion is. I can't remember if that's further north or south in here, but you're pretty much fine to plant peas now. I planted mine, I think, February 20th last year, and we had a really cold spring, and they did just fine. Peas can handle whenever it's cold, but they just take a little longer to germinate. My mug is from Haley Rose Ceramics. She is a very gifted friend of mine, and so most of the big mugs that you see me drinking out of, she made. And this one, isn't that beautiful? She has a coupon code for us. I asked her because I'm always drinking out of her mugs, and I asked her if she wanted to set a coupon code up. It's not like an affiliate thing or anything, but I love that people support her, and you can get 10% off. I think it's Roots and Refuge, like the letter. But if you want that information, you just message me. I'll give it to you. Alicia, when can you plant basil outdoors? Basil is super frost tender, so you need to make sure you're well after your first frost. Hi, sweet Maya.
Hey.
But yeah, like I started my basil inside last year. Just move it outside once the frost is past, and you know that it's not going to be dropping under 32 degrees because it will zap basil if it gets too cold. Did you see Jason? Is that why you're wiping your shirt off?
I don't on my shirt.
So if you have questions, put them in all caps so we can make sure to see them.
It's a beard shirt. Wearing a shirt with an epic beard on it doesn't change your beard. In case you guys were wondering.
If you were a flower, what flower do you think you would be? Homestead in the Highlands asked.
If I was a flower?
Yeah, what flower would you be? There's always this moment when I ask questions like this to Jeremiah, and it's like this pause where I find out whether he's seriously going to answer the question or if he's going to come up with some like smart aleck response.
What am I doing now?
Don't know yet. What kind of flower would you be, sweet Maya? I am under the weather just a little bit, Linda. I've got allergy stuff going on. I need to get my oils out.
We use doTERRA. Someone asked what essentials we use.
Oh. I think I would be a sunflower. Yeah, Rose. I have breathed. That's what
I
I've
actually
been.
just put some on.
Yeah. I wasn't coughing until he sat down, and that breathe oil is on him. And I'm telling you, it starts breaking that stuff up immediately. And that's why I'm coughing, because I can feel it. What flower would you be?
I don't know that much about flowers, but I want to say.
I think Jeremiah would be morning glories. No, he wouldn't. He is so not a morning person. He'd be a moonflower.
What's that thing in the windowsill that comes out at night? That's me. Whatever that is.
The prayer plant, the one that stands up at night. Yeah, that's funny. You're lazed out at night. Actually, I found that digestin is great for congestion. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm actually getting all of my stuff together to start doing more with oils. So, I haven't done any sort of like business building or anything, but I'm actually getting all of that stuff together. But yeah, that's interesting about the digestin. We have been.
Just get over a little bit. I feel like I'm There, you can come back closer to me. I like being close to you.
What are the ground cherries that I was eating, Kathy? I did pineapple. I did pineapple ground cherries last year. I'm trying a few different kinds this time.
You being orchids, you're extremely fragile and likely to not make it.
Orchids are not as hard as I've made them seem. I've killed a lot of orchids, so I'm sorry to Nature's Basics Farm. I've killed a lot of orchids.
Arkansas has lots of wild berries. Blackberries are ridiculous. Muscadines. All kinds of grapes. There's all kinds of wild grapes. We have lots of elderberries. I know persimmons is not a berry, but it's small. It's a small fruit.
It's a wild fruit that grows a lot here. So, so shall we do the what we're digging segment, and then we can start. Doing like questions. Do you want to wait on that? How did you nail the angled piece of the cold frame?
Okay. Actually, for that, I'm just going to throw it in the vlog. So I know someone commented on the video asking about that. I'm not real good at explaining it visually. Like if I can show you and I'll point to where I nailed it, that'll be better. So if you're wondering how I nailed in the angle pieces on the mini greenhouse, which I do realize it's not an actual cold frame because it doesn't sit on the ground, but we actually have some cold frames for an upcoming video. So we kind of were mixing up different ideas.
Yeah, it was for the purpose of being like a movable little greenhouse. Typically a true cold frame is bottomless and you would set it on the dirt to plant in the soil. But this one's really more for starting seeds, which we're doing a cool project with this week. Joyful growing. I found that ground cherries definitely take longer to germinate than tomatoes. Last year, I thought that mine weren't going to grow, and then they came up later. And they're also very, very small. They start out a lot smaller.
Cider vinegar, is that the same as fire cider?
Cider vinegar recipe. I actually don't have a cider vinegar recipe. I haven't made that. Rose might have one. Rose, do you have a
Sunshine Farm? We do grow onions. They're growing right here behind me in this basket of onions we have. They're actually, I'm going to grab one. See? They grow great. You don't have to add soil. You don't have to worry about watering them. You just put them in the basket and like you're going to eat them, but then don't eat them. That's what you get. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I've been waiting for someone to ask about that. I've been waiting on that one.
I haven't grown onions in my garden. Those onions are the result of me purchasing way too many onions around the holidays.
Onions.
Because I would be like, they're on sale for 99 cents a bag.
For some reason, you treated onions this year like milk. It's like you get to the store and you're like, I don't know, do we have enough milk? Should I get some more milk? This bag of onions, throw it in the cart.
Anybody who cooks knows that if you run out of onions, that is catastrophic, especially whenever you're cooking all of that holiday food from scratch. And it's winter, so we make lots of soup. But yeah, I did buy too many onions.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll figure out a way to use them.
I don't know what kind of chicks I'm bringing yet. I need to contact my guy and see what he's going to have.
We're not going to be able to bring any from our flock.
Yeah. We're talking about hatching some.
Right. We're going to hatch some from someone else's and then bring them.
We only have like 15 chickens of our own.
16. Which I think either want to find some actual adult layers or just get some from our hookup, some cool colors, and just grow them out.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this segment.
All right, let's get it.
Okay, so we introduced this last week, and we're going to do this every week kind of as a way to share sort of some updates and kind of where we're at on things in our live show. And so this is our like what we're digging segment, and we're going to talk about some different things. If you have any topics that you think that we should cover, make sure you throw them up here, things that you're interested in. And then we'll get to y'all's questions as soon as we're done with this. So what we're digging this week. So what we're eating this week. And we were talking about this. We're like, right now, this is just kind of like a boring discussion topic. What?
Morgan has a good point. We should have some kind of like intro music to start the segment.
Okay,
I don't know how to do any of that.
Yeah, we'll have to call Morgan and have them teach us how to do that because that would be a cool thing.
We'll just Skype
Let's imagine right now, like
Morgan, don't you play like trumpet or French horn or something? It's just what it feels like. You know, when I see you, I'm like French horn, maybe a trumpet kind of guy. Like we'll just Skype you in and we'll just have you play something every time.
So imagine right now, boombox. Come on, Morgan. He's got a boombox on his shoulder.
What is it, the Breakfast Club? All right, we're gonna do a segment. I'm not doing any intro music this time.
Okay, so imagine really cool intro music, and then like a thing here, like a graphic. This is what we would do if we were cool. Like what we're thinking. There would probably be a picture of a shovel on it.
If you guys knew how little we knew what we were doing, you would not be on this live right
now. Okay. What we're eating this week. This will be a more interesting point like later on when our garden's growing. Right now it's not. So
right now we're eating whatever we get from the store.
Right now we are eating ice cream. We got an ice cream maker this week off our wish list. Yes. I made ice cream.
Which is coming into direct conflict with losing weight.
Yeah. Whenever I got it, I was like, oh, golly. But I have cut out lots of
I said, what kind of ice cream did it make? You said all of them.
So I started with pumpkin pie ice cream. So it was really good. So
if we put on a few pounds, you'll know the culprit.
What we're not eating this week is Fuzzy's Tacos, which is one of our favorite taco places, and they closed.
We actually went on a date for Valentine's Day. My sister came and watched the kids, and we get out to go eat our favorite taco place, and they closed the Sunday before.
Yeah.
It was sad.
It was really sad. Someone said we're not eating onions, clearly. Actually, the issue with those onions
what I need is I got
so many.
Lauren. I don't think she's on here yet, but if she was, she can go over here and cook us up some chest omelets with onions and help us cure us all this congestion we have.
Onion poultice is what Lauren makes, and it really does help with congestion.
I don't know. She cut up a bunch of onions and stuck it in a skillet.
She put it in a skillet, and she wrapped him up in a towel, and she put it on Jeremiah's chest whenever he was really sick, and it really helped. Okay, so what we're listening to this week?
Okay, you'll thank me later. Go look up on iTunes, Kurt Vernon. Spell it out. Type it. You can type it. Type it on my phone.
I can type it. Kurt Vernon. Yeah, we like him.
Hey, look that up and look. He only has one album. He's not. I don't even know.
I don't think he does music.
I don't think he really does music like that. I think he's a pastor at a church in Dallas, if I understood correctly. And just listen to the album. I'm serious. You'll thank me later.
Yeah, we really like that. It's
what kind of music?
He's a Christian. It's a worship album.
It's a worship album, but it's just good.
I don't know. It's just he's got a really unique sound. We really like that. And then I've been listening to some Bethel. Like that's kind of what I stream regularly. So that's what we're mostly listening to this week. Ken
Denzer, love your channel, keeping it Rizzle. You know I try to keep it Rizzle every day.
There's Lauren.
Is Lauren on now?
No, I think she's busy. She was texting me, making sure.
Just tell her we're talking about onion omelets and stuff on her chest.
Kurt Vernon is really good. Also, Daniel's single came out this week, so that's kind of cool. If you look up Daniel Smith, I don't know. I posted a link to it on Instagram, I think, but so that's kind of cool. I don't know that song, Grandma's Garden. Change My Heart, Oh God. I might know it. I'm really bad about what songs are called, but if I hear it, then I know it. So, okay, what we're working on.
I'm currently working on the window greenhouse.
Yep.
That's all I can say.
Yep. He worked on it quite a bit yesterday. We're giving you guys a little bit of a peek in the vlog tomorrow. Diane Charles, you saw Daniel. That's really cool. So, okay. What we are reading, like in the Bible, we've been reading Numbers, which is really hit or miss. Like sometimes you're like, oh, this is really impactful. And sometimes you're just like, man, this is really rough. But overall, it's been really good. And I've been really enjoying that. So, also continuing to read Charles Dowding's book about no dig. I'm really gearing up to implement a lot of that in my garden. this year.
I don't have a lot of time to read because if I stopped and sat down to read, I'd fall asleep.
Yeah, Jeremiah is more of a podcast kind of guy.
Yes, and I have to keep my hands busy, which is why I have a Lego table.
Yeah, that's funny to me.
Daniel will be at the shindig.
Yes.
He will be playing music and selling his album.
Kayla, I'll have to show you my sleeve another time whenever I have a shirt that can
wait for summer.
a little
Trust
more
me, it'll be
easily.
out.
Yeah.
She'll flaunt it.
Yeah, well, I'll wear tank tops in the garden. Okay. Sunshine Farm. You'll have to send me that. I'd like to know about that. Okay. So what we're dreaming.
Go ahead.
I have been it's kind of crazy because it hasn't been a focal point for me lately, but having the horses out in the big field next door and having the space, I've been really dreaming of working our horses and riding them regularly. That's been my dream this week. That's what I've been dreaming of. And really excited about, the garden. I've been dreaming about the garden really intensely. Like, I'm so ready for that space to be what it is in the summer again that I can just like feel it.
Any news on the cruise?
We've
messaged everybody.
Yeah, we've been looking around. What we're trying to work out on the cruise right now is Malia being here because she's only here for like 6 to 8 weeks during the summer.
I get her for 8 weeks in the summer and rotating holidays.
So we're trying
to plan
it
while she can be here. So.
Yeah, we're trying to work out when that needs to be, as well as a farm sitter and all of that. So we're definitely looking into it. We've talked to a couple of cruise lines.
And also considering which cruise we're going to go on and the budget.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're being realistic.
Yep. So
we're working it out. Maybe
we're really
we'll get
excited
to go this summer.
Yeah, we're hoping to make it happen this summer so that we can work it out with Malia. Obviously, we don't want to go.
We probably won't go if she can't go.
Like without her, we're not going to go. And so if it were a different kind of vacation, like sometimes that's just the reality of having one of your kids that doesn't live with you. And if there was something else, but this being like our first big family vacation, we're not willing to make that happen without her. And so the window of opportunity to do it is kind of small. And so around other traveling things, we're just having to figure that out. So,
all right, last thing.
Okay, what we're watching this week.
We actually have 2 different ones.
So, well, actually, there's some other stuff too. I've been watching Gary from the Rusted Garden. And going back to a lot of his videos, he has a lot of how-tos, and I've kind of been like, that's what I've been listening to a lot. I've been watching some doTERRA videos and learning about some different stuff there. And then there are 2 Homestead channels that we have been watching this week. Actually,
and I don't really watch a lot of YouTube.
We really don't.
So, I just don't have enough time to just sit and watch YouTube. So
I try to keep up with my friends, now that we have like YouTubing friends, it's like a really hard thing because you really want to watch your friends, but at the same time, you only have so much time.
Hey, what's up, Elk and Anchor Homestead? How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we've been praying for you guys. So, the first channel that we have been watching, you want to do this one?
Okay, so I couldn't sleep. Jessica had already gone to bed. It was probably like midnight. So I usually don't stay up much past 1. If I can't sleep, usually I can get to bed by then. But I was up for like 45 minutes or so after Jessica. And I was just trolling YouTube and came across a channel called You Can't Eat the Grass. And it was about him working on his greenhouse. I think his name's Ian, I do believe. Mm-hmm. But I don't know her name, actually.
They're super sweet.
They're super awesome. I watched a few videos, but I didn't quite gather her name. Maybe Serena. I did, and I forgot.
It's Serena.
But anyways, I watched him building Serena. That's it. Yeah. I watched him building his greenhouse, and I even commented and sent him a message and was like,
"Yeah, it is Serena."
I totally agree. I relate to everything you're talking about because he's like, day 1, getting started. It's noon. I'm like, yep, there we go. It's like this is going to take 1 day. Day 4. I'm like, yep, I understand that. So I've really been digging You Can't Eat the Grass.
Yeah. It was funny because I got a notification because we just, we both use the same YouTube channel. We don't have separate ones to log in. And so but he doesn't watch a lot of YouTube. So I get this notification of like a response to a comment. And I'm like, it was from You Can't Eat the Grass. And I was like, what did I say there? And I went and I looked at it and I saw Jeremiah had commented. I was like, Jeremiah watched a YouTube video? Like, that's crazy.
So first channel, go give them some
love. Yes.
Give them some
You
subscribers.
Can't Eat the Grass. Can somebody throw that link up to them?
Family or Big Bear.
Yeah, they have a really cool channel. I've really liked them for a little while now. They came across, she tagged me in a challenge and I started watching their stuff, and they're in a really different growing area than us. They're up, in the frigid north, but they're doing some really cool stuff, and they've just expanded to a larger place. So the next channel that I wanted to highlight tonight that we are digging this week actually came to my attention about a week ago, I think. And I'd had conversation with them before, I think, like through comments on different things. But sometimes, you talk to people and you don't put it together that they have a YouTube channel or whatever. But it's Stivers Homestead. And they have a channel there. I think they've been doing it for a little while now, but not a very long time. They're still relatively on the small side. So this week, I gotta link this video. Okay, this tickled me so much. They're on here. So Zach and Jennifer, have a really sweet family, and they're homesteading in Kentucky. And I've been watching, I watched the replay of their live, and I've been kind of watching and looking at their stuff. Well, then this week, Zachary posted this video where he was looking for a Valentine's gift for his wife and kids. And I'm telling you, I laughed so hard at this moment. I played it for Jeremiah. And he's talking about going into the Royal King. And this time of year, every time you go into the Royal King, you hear this chirping. And then he goes, well, I knew exactly. And then he shows the box full of chicks. And I was like, that is so me. Like, well, this is what happened. So I've really been enjoying their channel. They're a super sweet family. They just did a greenhouse build out of cattle panels, which is a really, I've seen those done. Let me see. I just posted the link. Did it come
channel
up?
is Stivers Homestead.
Yeah, there's a link.
They're on here.
Yeah, they're on here. There's a link to the video. I'm pointing at it here, like you can see.
Hey guys, right there.
Right there, guys. There's a link to the video with the Valentine's gift, which I just really like that. It tickled me. But super sweet family. I'm really digging them. I love watching families with kids homestead. And I love watching channels where you get to see couples doing this together, and it just, I don't know, it just really blesses me. I saw that I need to stop reading questions while I'm trying to talk because I can't do two things at once. Did you see that little brain train just like trail away? I saw he built her this greenhouse a couple days ago, and she was posting pictures of it about how just beautiful it is, and she had her lights up in it and all of that stuff. And it was funny because Maya was out there working on my window greenhouse yesterday until way too late, and it was cold, and he was out there just like insistent on getting to the stopping point. He's feeling kind of yucky today, and I was just like, I wonder how many husbands are regularly doing these things and like making their wives so happy. And then I saw her post the pictures of her greenhouse. I was like, I think there are probably quite a few of them out there. So I really enjoyed that.
The You Can't Eat the Grass video, I mean, he's in like freaking cold.
I didn't even realize that both of the channels that we featured, we watched were husbands building greenhouses for their wives.
Maybe I was just trying to get the motivation.
I guess that's it. So, yeah.
There you go.
Those are our two that we.
If you're on here, there's 694 people watching, and you're not subbed to them, go sub them.
Yeah,
please.
we wanna see people be able to be blessed by what we're doing, and that's just a really cool way that we can share. Because truly, like when you get started on YouTube, you're doing the same work. A lot of people that have smaller channels, I mean, they're doing it with like, honestly, they're not even monetized if they're under 1,000 subs. And so, and even if they're over it, if they don't have the watch time, they're not.
Yeah,
so.
Stead, we're watching. I watched and really enjoyed You Can't Eat the Grass. And Jessica brought a channel and we watched a couple of their videos. Stiver's Homestead.
Yeah. So those are the two that we wanted to really highlight this week. And then we will get to y'all's question. Let me see if we can some of my mods post those links to their channel so you guys can go watch them. So Dennis said Stivers just gained about 20 followers. It really is. It's such an encouragement whenever you go sub to these channels. I got such a sweet message from Josh from the Homestead a week ago, because we really helped promote their channel, and they were just so wildly encouraged. And it is such a huge, huge message to people to be able to encourage them like that. I was talking to Morgan today. He said, because I said I had the nicest subs on YouTube, and he's like, you really do have exceptionally nice subs. He was like, when you promoted my channel and I got like 500 new subs, he was like, they were all so nice. I was like, I know, I really do. I have the best subs on YouTube. I'm going to stand on that. I really am, because they're awesome. Of course.
Melissa.
Yeah, those are the ones that got the trampoline. Yeah.
Well,
hey guys.
Cool.
Hey, Bob and Melissa. Our kids are really loving that.
I was out there
trampoline.
jumping on it today. Yes, we are. So humble, the Ethan.
The Ethan. Okay, so let's get to some questions. I've seen Pure Hearts Homestead got some ticks today. Tell you how to get guineas. You could get guineas out here. They might run off. I mean, like, even if you
get guineas, that's not the problem. It's like your neighbors are going to get guineas. Your neighbors are going to get guineas.
And you could even put them out there and kind of keep them.
There's some people who probably will steal them and eat them.
Yeah, like the problem with guineas is even if you do live on your property, a lot of times they run off. You really have to be intentional to raise them up from being really small. And if they decide to stick around, they stick around. I mean, we have our one guinea that's been here for years. We don't even feed it. It just lives wild, but it stays on our property. But one of our friends had some land down the road, and he actually took 20 guineas and tried to keep them down there, even though he didn't live there. And they all ended up just sort of dispersing into the woods. So
do you mulch every year?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Every year, and we're actually starting this right now, I will put a few more inches of compost on the top of the beds. I'm not tilling anything up. I just lay more compost down. And then after it's all planted and all the seeds are up and everything, I'll go through with straw or hay and lay down a layer of that throughout the entire bed. So it's completely mulched with that. And then I actually do in the fall, I remulch it in the fall. And a lot of times I go ahead and I think this year we amended the beds in the fall. I didn't get compost. We just used composted horse manure and laid that out in all the beds and then remulched at the end of the year. So yeah, Kim, leaves make good compost and mulch. Lots of people do that.
What makes a good heifer?
What makes a good heifer? A sense of humor, clearly. I saw. Oh, yeah. I hate Two Family Homestead. I didn't get to see you earlier. Okay. Rose said someone keeps asking, how do you fertilize seedlings?
No, she said, do you fertilize?
Fertilize seedlings? Really depends on what you start them in, because a lot of times, if you purchase bagged mixes from the store already have fertilizer in them. I usually don't put anything extra on mine until they start getting a good deal bigger. And I use a thing called Super Thrive. It's just like a seaweed fertilizer. And to just be completely transparent about Super Thrive, I have done some research. I did enough research about it to feel okay about using it. It's not a certified organic ingredient, but it is natural, and I did feel okay about using it. That was years ago, before thousands of people were watching and asking what I was using. now I'm kind of like, I'm using this, but do your research and make sure that you're okay with it. But usually what I do is once they're pretty well established, I start watering them with stuff that has Super Thrive in it. And a lot of times I keep buckets of rabbit poop right outside the greenhouse. And as they fill up with rainwater, I'll just skim the water off the top of those and put them in there. That's just what I do to fertilize them. I know you can't really just go buy that. Amanda, yes, I have inoculated my soil with my Corsia before. I did it last year. I did it the year before. I have a bag to do it this year. The areas that have already been inoculated, they're still good. Obviously once it's done, it's done. But it's funny because this year when I pulled up, I had a whole bunch of green bean plants running down the side of one of my beds, and I had inoculated where all of the trellises were. And I pulled those plants out, and the ones that were near the trellises had the nodules on the roots, and the ones that weren't didn't. So I'm going to make sure that I use that whenever I plant beans and peas this year.
Someone keeps asking about, are you adding something or do you use it with the M?
That's what I just responded. That's what I just responded to my Corsia.
My Corsia, I don't know what the heck that is.
Yeah,
wild game, the only thing I hunt is white-tailed deer. I don't do boar hunts.
Yeah.
Now, I would go, if I could get, my act together and get on the lottery and actually have time and all that, and maybe some friends. I know Ethan's a hunter. Maybe me and him can go hunting. We've talked about it a little bit. Anyways, I'd love to go to, Colorado, go up north and go hunt, elk and moose and things like that. But you have to be pretty hardcore. And, there's a constant conversation with myself going on in my head being like, do I want to get up that early? Do I want to be cold that long? I don't know.
Jesse Small Home said, which animal manure do you prefer and why? We really are just kind of use what you have people. And obviously we have horses, so we have horse manure in abundance, and we just pile it up and let it age. And then after a while we'll spread it out. And then my friend Lisa lives close. She keeps rabbits, and she's always given me freedom to come and scoop stuff out. And so I use a lot of rabbit manure just because it's what I have, and rabbit manure can go straight on the garden. It doesn't have to age. And we do also compost the bedding out of our chicken coops and goat barns, but we just take a lot longer with that stuff. And I don't really have a preference. I guess rabbit manure is the easiest because it's a lot more manageable to carry around, and it doesn't have to be aged. I'm for him. We're definitely praying for you. I'm so sorry. Send me a message. Let me know how it's going. See, I didn't know with goat poop if it was hot or not, Rose. Rose said goat poop isn't hot either, so you can put it on. We've always let the bedding compost because we just scoop the bedding out, but I've never tried to scoop up their poop because we've always had so much horse and rabbit.
How far do you space out your veggies when you plant them on your arch trellis?
It depends on what it depends on what it is. On an arch trellis, they're, those panels are what, 4 feet? Is that right?
Yeah, they're 4 feet.
4 feet wide. They're
wide,
yeah.
Yes.
And so I'll do on one side, I'll do 2 cucumber plants, 2 melons. If it's beans, I put 1 at the bottom of every metal piece. So they're about 4 to 6 inches apart. That's pretty much, it's not super exact, but that's just basically what I've figured out, and it's worked for me. When do you put out the brassicas and root vegetables in zone 7A, Middle Tennessee? I only direct sow root vegetables, so I don't know about starting those and then moving them out. I've only ever direct sown root vegetables, and I will be direct sowing root vegetables within the next week in the garden. Brassicas, 4 weeks or so before your last frost is typically what I do. And the thing for me, with anything that you're putting out before the frost, it's kind of iffy whether or not it's going how it's going to do. You know, if you can cover it, that might be good. But with brassicas, like I have cabbages out there right now. Our winter's been really mild, but they're still fine and they've been uncovered all winter. And so I'm going to put mine out just a few weeks before the last frost, and I think that they'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I know cow manure is extremely hot. Chicken manure is extremely hot. Horse manure, it's not. I mean, here, okay, also, what are you feeding them? I mean, just be honest. Okay, we have really high quality hay. When our horse manure comes out and it gets rained on, it literally disintegrates into grass. Like they take out what they want, and it's so high, it's so dense in nutrients that I'm telling you, we maybe let it sit for a few months, but I mean, we don't.
I think they say like 3 months is like the safe thing. You can. I don't know. Let me look it up real quick because I've looked it up every time we've laid it on there. I've looked it up and I've always been like, okay, we're okay.
Like we never really take any like direct. It always sits for a minute, but it's not nearly as hot as cows.
Okay, like they suggest 4 to 6 weeks. I think we let it sit for a few months,
8 weeks or so, yeah.
and then we put it on. It's not nearly as hot as cows. How many Kajari melons per plant on average? Amanda, the first year I planted them, I didn't get a whole lot, but they got really sick really fast and only got one and saved seeds out of it. Last year I planted 4 plants and we probably harvested over the course of the summer, like 30 something melons?
Oh yeah.
Probably off of 4 plants. So yeah, you're going to get, probably in the like 6 to 10 range per plant. And it probably depends on how much support they get and if the soil is well nourished and all that stuff.
Out of Goshen said, hey.
Oh, hey, out of Goshen. If you could only buy one kind of tomato from Wild Boar Farm, what kind would it be? That's a hard question.
Good luck with that one. All right, while you think about that.
Probably can I do an either? That's like kind of saying one, but really it's 2. Either the blue goldberry or the blueberry, one of those. I mean, it's kind of a toss-up. They taste very similar. I think the blue gold's probably a little sweeter, and the blueberry, which is the red with the blue shoulders, is probably a little more like acidic tomatoey flavor. So that just depends on what your preference is. But those are the most prolific plants that I've ever grown in my garden. Like they take off. They are so prolific. The first and the last tomatoes to produce for the last 2 years, the first tomato I've gotten is off one of those plants. And they're just exceptionally good and healthy. So good.
The Moon and Stars melon did pretty good. It wasn't a producer like the Kajari though.
It also was in the ground and not in the raised beds.
Yeah,
so,
all the melons we planted on the ground didn't do very good.
Yeah, the Moon and Stars did better than any of the other melons. They're beautiful. I'm definitely going to grow them again. But we slapped that in-ground garden together like last minute without much amending of the soil or anything.
Well, we just didn't have any more dirt left, more good dirt left, so we just used what we had.
So, yeah, I'm going to grow Moon and Stars again. I really liked it. It's so beautiful. Thank you, Holly. We appreciate that. That's super sweet. What's the easiest thing to grow in me? I would say probably radishes are about as easy as it comes. I mean, peppers can be if you can get them established and they'll just keep going. A lot of cherry tomatoes are super easy, but probably radishes, they're just about as easy as you can hope for. Joette Johnson, do you grow Amish paste tomatoes? Are they good for both eating and sauces? I really liked Amish paste this year. Last year, this last year, the last gardening season. The year before that, I had been like, I don't know. They're kind of take it or leave it. But this last year, they did amazing. I don't know what I did differently. The seeds were from the same exact package. So I'm growing more this year. And you could definitely eat them for fresh eating. They're very, very meaty. But the ones I got were massive. I had a couple that got over 1.5 pounds.
My recommendation for the crisp watermelon, from my understanding, is if it gets overwatered, which a lot of times nature messes with that. But I noticed that growing them off the ground on a trellis reduced the amount of water intake that they had available. So you could control the water intake and keep, like our Kajaris were always really crisp and good, but they were grown on a trellis. So depending on what kind of melon you're growing.
Right, because the beds drain a lot better than in the ground.
They just drain off. And so they get what they need, but they don't get overwatered. All the big melons we had in the in-ground garden,
But a lot of splitting,
and they weren't. Like when they're overwatered, I think it's just like a tomato kind of washes out the flavor.
Yeah.
When it was all the Kajaris on the trellis though always had great flavor.
Do you grow daikon radish? No, but I'm going to this year. I'm growing daikons this year. Now that I'm getting into more Thai cooking and stuff, I'm going to do that. I want to make kimchi, and so I'd like to have as many of the ingredients that we grew as possible.
What is the best way to keep goats in? You just sit them down and have a really stern talking. Like, listen, you stay in this yard right now, or you will have consequences. We actually have really good goats. They don't really get
sturdy fence. Build a good fence.
Build a good fence, yes, and make sure you use the right kind of fencing fabric. If it's welded wire, don't bother. You're wasting your time. They're big old fat bodies. Unless you're using Nigerian dwarfs, you can't break anything.
Well, no, they can totally break stuff. And I've heard some people say that their Nigerian dwarfs were the ones that get out the most.
Because they're so tiny.
And they jump.
But we have big mamas. And when we had them up against some welded wire, they would just push their bodies up against it, and it would just break the welds. And so we replaced everything now with what's called red brand goat fence. Not field fence. Field fence squares are bigger and their heads get stuck. Goat fence or goat and sheep, the same thing, but goat fence.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. You just buy it. It's kind of expensive. Electric netting might work. Yeah. I don't do that, but I mean, I'm assuming it works.
I mean, some people use electric netting and they just move it around and move their pastures around. We've never done that. We built a pretty sturdy fence when we started out with goats, and we have had to deal with very, very little of the nightmare goats out of the fence thing.
Really never. Most of the time they get out is when the gate's open.
Or if they're in that other yard
with the chain link, but that's not the
chain link, and they could get underneath it. So we haven't done hydroponics, Bo. That's kind of like in the far off list of goals.
That's like a 5-year plan, maybe.
Yeah, we've got enough right now that we're dealing with, but we would like to. Our friends VW Family Farms, they have a really cool hydroponic setup that is really neat.
Wow, you have a ridiculous buck if you can jump a 6-foot fence flat-footed.
Oh my god!
You sure it's not a deer? Could be a deer.
Morgan said we just goat jinxed ourselves.
No, he didn't. I know. In my belief system, I can speak things and then I can cancel those things. So, I'll just speak life. Goats are gonna stay. They love us. So it's like our subscribers. Our goats are so good because we're so good. And they love us. They would never do something like that, except Maggie.
Maggie Mayhem. She is always the one.
But see, we just put enough good goats with her that she just peer pressure. They're like, "Don't do it, Maggie. Don't do it." She's like, "Okay, I won't."
Dustin Palmer said,
"Do you have any tattoos?" Yes, I do have tattoos. I'm not going to take my shirt off and show you right now. But if you go back to some of our older videos where someone very affectionately called me Tank Top Guy, I forget who that was. Someone gave me that name. Because in the summer I wear tank tops, in the winter I wear these. That's basically it. Anyways, I've got a big tattoo right here. And her brother is actually, I'm going up there. I was supposed to go up there in February, but I don't think that's going to happen. In the next few months, I'm going to go up and visit her brother, and he's putting together a tattoo for my mom and my firstborn son. So that's going to be a cool little collaboration tattoo.
And as far as getting any stuff at church for having tattoos, you asked that, but not really. I mean,
oh, do we get stuff at church?
No, I don't really. We don't get a lot of trouble. I mean, I get a lot of ugly comments. I probably get, just since our YouTube channel has grown, I probably get what would you say? A couple of dozen comments a week that are really ugly about having tattoos or facial piercings. But, if somebody watches a 25-minute video about gardening and the only thing that they have to say at the end of it is a negative comment about tattoos or someone's appearance, then that really reflects more on them than it does on me. So. Hey, Ben, you want to say hi to everybody?
Just for a minute. Say hi. What is that? What is that? Can you do a T-post? Nice T-post. Oh, nice.
Hey, someone said, guess what?
Oh, you're so fast. Guess what else they said? They said wood. Wood.
Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate that comment.
All right. It's time for you to go. Hey, quit wrestling me.
Y'all been so much fun. Hey, Ben. They said you are so precious.
Precious?
You're precious.
All right, say peace out.
Peace out.
Say catch you later, little homie.
No.
Get out of here. Go watch your show.
No.
Go watch your show.
No.
Go watch your show.
Um.
Hurry up. Okay, Dad, look at me. Come here. Look at me.
Christopher, that's a really hard question. I think. He's being a stinker. Yeah. People keep saying stuff about tattoos. You know, I don't know. It's one of those things for me that, like, I appreciate that some people like don't agree with tattoos, but they still say, but I like you as a person. And I think that's honestly what we have to get to the point with people, is that we don't we value them not based on the fact that they agree with us, but because they're people and people are worthy to be valued. So I think that's really cool. Ben is a camera hog for real. He loves the camera, and it's so sweet. It makes me glad that my kids enjoy what we're doing. You see the most of Ben because he likes it the most. Actually, my older boys are kind of like, when the camera's on, they're kind of just like, they're just kind of like, Ethan said face tattoos are the only one I don't get.
Yeah, I'm not getting any of that.
Emmy, the horses are doing so good. Honestly, they are looking fat. We got to start working them because they have that huge pasture.
I'm cutting back on some of their grain. I'm like, listen, you fatties.
They are seriously like.
Whenever I see like a fat animal like that, I can always go back and bring it on. I'm like, listen, if you skip a few meals, your body will eat your butt. And then you'll be skinnier again. So I'm just gonna cut back a little bit.
Yeah, our horses are they need some exercise. They're running though. Like, we look out the window and see them running, and it's just amazing. But we're gonna get over there, and probably Jeremiah's building the window greenhouse, and that is such a it's a priority. Like, we need to get it done, or else it's not going to be usable. We've got to get it done so we can use it before the season starts. And then after that, he's going to set the round pen up and start working with them.
Those are some things that gearing up for the garden, we have a lot less help. My mom was a huge help. Daniel used to live close. So with all that going on, I need to get ahead on that kind of project stuff before I can get the horses in line.
Dennis was talking about watching the video about you running after the piglet and how you said you'd had enough cardio for your lifetime.
Yeah, I'm not really running anymore. Like, next time I'm going to ride a horse and chase the piglet down and rope it or something.
That was such a crazy
I don't
night.
know. It's making my chest hurt, and I'm tired thinking about it. Like, you're giving me an anxiety attack thinking about running after that stupid piglet, which happens to be, it got loose in the field that the horses are in now anyways.
Missy, about growing food in hay bales. Yeah, I've never done it. I've read about it, and some people around the corner did it, and I'm always rubbernecking other people's gardens, so I watched that. But I'm gonna probably try and experiment some with that this week. Yeah, Shelly, I've pressure canned quite a bit. I pressure canned a lot of meat last summer and fall. Like, I spent actually a whole day with Maya's mom before she got sick, and we pressure canned, like, I don't know what it was. It was a ton of ground beef. We had gotten a lot of ground beef for like a super great deal. And so we pressure canned something like 30 or 40 pounds. I can't remember what it was. It was a lot. It was several jars, a lot. And so I still have a little bit of it, and it's kind of crazy. Like I made lasagna the other day, and I opened it, and I told the kids because Maya's mom cooked that meat, and then we canned it. And so I told them, I was like, well, hey, this is the meat that Grandma Jana cooked that we canned. I was like, so she kind of helped me cook dinner tonight. And they were like, they ate their whole lasagna. Like they ate their whole plate and loved it because they were so excited.
She's talking about serious stuff. I'm reading all your guys' funny stuff and laughing. Barry Richardson, hello from Scotland. Grab an urn brew, BRU. I don't really know how to say that.
Where's he from? He's
and
from
put on some run rig. I don't know what the heck you're saying, but I like it. I'm just saying. I don't even know. Someone said they were walking. Okay, so Lori Gorton said walking through Home Depot yesterday, going down the door aisle. I said door, and my husband responds behind me, wood.
That's fantastic.
That might be our next shirt.
Wood. That is hilarious. That's so funny.
City girl, country heart, you probably should get more than a latte for dinner. She said, I'm back getting a latte dinner. I think you meant to say late, but just having a latte for dinner, like, you probably should get something a little more substantial.
Where to get a deal on straw bales, man, Chris? I don't know. We buy them at a local guy, so we just get them here. That's the best deal we've found. And so if you could maybe find a local person.
Yeah, my favorite people are the ones from the UK. I just want to listen to all of them talk. Like I want to hear them have conversations with each other. Like Scotland, England, Welsh, love them all. Just like listening to them. Oh, it was really funny. We have some friends in Australia, and they have a completely different accent. It's similar, but it's different. And he was here in the States, and we went around and
in DC.
DC, and
we were up in Washington D.C. for a prayer thing.
He turns it up full blast. Like I can't even understand half the stuff he's saying, and he just like walks up to like someone helping at the Smithsonian.
He was trying to pull the guy's chain.
He was trying to mess with the guy.
He was like, Jeremiah, watch this, and he starts talking like major
Aussie slang, right?
Yeah, like Aussie slang.
I'm not even going to try and reproduce it.
Yeah, don't. I would be so embarrassed.
The guy's just like kind of so confused, like, I don't really know. It's like the information desk is at the front or something like that. And I'm like so turning red and embarrassed, but it was so funny.
Robin said, I think Barry suggested you grab a beer and crank some music.
I actually like that idea. If I drank beer, I'm still not a beer drinker. And I was in the Marine Corps, so trust me, I've had opportunity. I was like 17 at the Marine Corps birthday, and they're like, you can drink as much beer as you want. And I was like, great.
It tastes
still don't like it.
I know some people will go visit people, and people know that we're really like devout Christians, and they'll be like, is it going to offend you if we have alcohol? And they're like, Jeremiah's like, no, as long as you don't make me drink it. Like, I just don't like it. So it's funny. Yeah, Sam, I will bring back the Grow Something Lovely tank tops. I've got to work it out with the girl that prints those, because we've gone to Teespring because they print shirts as they are ordered and they ship them, because we could not keep up with merchandise when we were trying to do it all ourselves. So I'll have to work it out with her.
Chris Rhodes, you're from New Zealand. That's awesome too. That's actually, I'm a huge history person. So like my bucket list of places I want to go is like really historical. Like I really want to go to Rome and Europe and go through for the history aspect. But second to the history aspect of going somewhere, I want to go to New Zealand and go to where Middle Earth is. Because, you know, if you all didn't figure it out, New Zealand is Middle Earth. And so if I'm going to retire somewhere, I'm probably going to New Zealand to retire. And I'm going to go live in the Golden Hall of Rohan. Just letting you know. Or a Hobbit Hole. One of the two. I don't know yet.
There's actually a place in North Arkansas that's like built in the side of the cave that has kind of like a Hobbit hole look to it.
It's more of a dwarven thing. I know, you're trying. She's trying to relate to me. She really is. She does real good. But dwarves build into mountains. Hobbits build into the ground. This is a whole different thing. Really, what's funny is that you are a hobbit.
Me?
Yes, they're gardeners.
Oh, I'm a hobbit.
Yes.
Hobbits
saved the world. Too bad. Well, I'm very appreciative that your feet are not like a hobbit, because that's not good.
Heirloom Permaculture said Arkansas is no longer on our short list. Why? We're great. Arkansas is great.
Oh, whatever. You know you're coming here.
I saw this one thing where they
Why don't
had,
we build a hobbit hole and make it our root cellar?
Okay.
And like literally, we'll just do it like Hobbiton, like with a big door. And make
I
it
saw.
really cool.
Kendall said you need to tuck that back in. Your nerd is showing.
Oh, listen, I let that out. I showed you guys the fact that I build Star Trek Lego ships. That's as nerdy as it gets.
Today, Jeremiah came down to the basement. What?
I'm a bit oversized for why you gotta be crushing. Okay, that's okay. I appreciate that. That's true. I'm actually not. I don't want to be a hobbit. I don't want to garden that much. Like I want to go slay the dragon. So I'm more like a tall dwarf. If I was skinny and like more like less bearded, I would be an elf because they're really good at archery. But I'll just settle for a human. I'll be a guy of Gondor.
Yeah, we not touching that. Big Bear.
You shouldn't. You should not touch it. That's right, Big Bear.
Yeah, I was down at the basement today, and I came down, and I was trying to record the podcast with Morgan with Cultural Farm, and I was down, and I went to the only space that I could set my computer up on in the room with the seedlings, which was on Jeremiah's Lego table, and I didn't want to disturb anything, so I just put my computer on top of all of his Legos, and he came in, and he's like, I have one space in this house. He's like, Morgan, I blame you for this.
That's awesome. I'm a hobbit. I'm from Oxford in the UK. I garden and love second breakfast. Don't have hair toes though. Yes. See, all these people in America, they just don't get it. You guys are my people. Okay. The gauntlet has been thrown down. Morgan said, I'm actually such a big nerd that Yes, Ethan.
Or Ethan. Okay, Ethan. Sorry, I misread that wrong. So Ethan says that he is such a big nerd that he makes you look like a jock in comparison.
That's not true. But I'm not going to prove that on this live. You cannot reverse psychology me, Ethan. Okay, go to your village of followers and have them, chant your name. But I will not give you my 2 cents.
Okay, so the inside joke with the Ethan in his village is they visited.
They were going through somewhere.
And there was a town called Ethan. And it's this whole long thing.
He pulls up and gets out and he's like, I'm here. I have returned. Your lord. The Ethan. No, seriously, that's what happened. They threw him out.
Lazy Acre said, we have already seen your lightsaber. We know. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Ethan, you got a replica lightsaber, a dueling replica lightsaber. Didn't think so. You need to step it up, man. You need to step it up. Anyways, are we supposed to be talking about this? I thought we should probably talk about the garden now. We have to answer garden questions.
No Jedi mind tricks. So, in actual garden,
did someone just reference the? Hold on, I'm sorry. I have to ask. What is your quest? What is your favorite color? Wild and Wonderful. That is one of our family staple movies. Okay, when I was like 9, I could quote that movie from front to back to front. Like I knew everything. Still do. Not gonna do that now. But I'm just saying, like that and Tommy Boy. That's what we grew up on.
Okay, go get it.
I can't find the book.
Why don't you get your magnet game?
Yeah, we've totally derailed this live into just having fun.
And well, that's okay. That's what these are for too.
I saw a meme once that was like how to offend 4 different nerd groups all at the same time, and it was like
it was a picture.
It was not William Shatner. It was Patrick Stewart.
Yeah,
and he's sitting in a Star Trek uniform. And he says, feel the force, Harry.
No, and then it was signed at the bottom.
Signed at the bottom, Gandalf.
Yeah. That's funny. So yeah, we're getting pretty close. We're right after 8, so we'll probably wrap this up. Y'all are talking about nerd stuff that
Okay, we'll go back onto the garden stuff. It's okay. Let's go back to the garden stuff. We'll do it.
I have no problem with talking about nerd stuff. I just have nothing to contribute. I'm not pop culture wise. Like, it's all completely over my head. Now I can, if by nerd standards you want to talk about like heirloom seeds, I can talk about those like it's my job, which I guess it kind of is at this point. What are you?
So like, okay, so let's just kind of just blanket cover a few questions that I keep seeing coming up. Canning, recipes, preserving, all that stuff, that's coming as stuff gets grown.
Yeah.
Like, there's just not enough. Like, we would have to go buy stuff at the store to show how to do that. And so really we're just kind of putting that stuff on the back burner until we get stuff ourselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I totally am going to show more of how we use our harvest this year. That's something that you guys have asked for. And one of the reasons why I didn't do it last year is, one, I was just really getting into the stride with YouTube and not knowing exactly how to do it. But I want to show what we do, but I might not necessarily be able to do like a how-to video of each step. But one thing that I've been doing lately, like I harvested some broccoli the other day and I said, this is what we're going to do with it. And then I just gave links to other people's videos and vlogs or blogs where they're showing what they're doing with it. And that's kind of how I'm probably going to approach that this summer. Because truly, I don't want to do a ton of how-to cooking videos. I'll probably do a little bit, but the fact of the matter is that I have to cook multiple meals every single day, and I want to do that as quickly as possible so I can spend more time out in the garden. And so videoing things makes them take twice as long to make videos of exactly how to do it. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that and sharing what I'm doing, but not necessarily showing exactly how, but I'll tell you where to go to find out how. Yeah, and using my wet jars. I'm going to be canning in those. I mean, we're almost into berry season now. When strawberries are in, like, I actually go to a local place and buy a lot of strawberries and do a lot of canning then. And then from then on out, we pick wild blackberries. I try to can a year's worth of jam in the spring. And then we'll go into the garden producing. Laura, what kind
of we must get some shrubberies. One shrubbery right here with the nice walkway through the middle, and another shrubbery right here. Then you must go and cut down the mightiest tree in the forest with a herring. Sorry, I couldn't resist. They keep egging me on.
Can you what? Chalk on the walls? Yeah, that's fine. You can chalk on the wall. You have to get the chalk out of the drawer. Oh my gosh. Somebody asked.
Okay, so I'm going to share this. Okay, talking about tattoos, talking about some other stuff. So I came up with a Great Brothers tattoo, and I think we're going to get it at some point. I don't know when. All right, so there's 6 brothers, and we're going to start with the oldest. So my brother Josh is going to get the Black Knight, and he's going to be standing there with his sword, and it's going to say, "You shall not pass." And then I'm going to get the tattoo, and he's going to be missing his arm. All right, and he's going to say, "Come at me." And then my other brother's going to get a tattoo. He's going to be missing the other arm. Then the next brother missing a leg. Then the next brother missing the leg. And then the last brother's my last brother gets the knight with no legs and arms, and he says, "I'll bite your legs off." I thought that was really funny.
Oh, my God.
No. It's one tattoo per person. So it's one Black Knight. It doesn't have to be really big. It's like, enough to see it. I thought it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, we're almost done. We're about to end.
Or I've also considered getting a holy hand grenade tattooed somewhere because it'd be an inside joke, but I don't know about that one.
Mama Woods, you could make that pepper jelly. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be making more pepper jelly this year. Candied jalapenos. I'm really hoping we get a good pepper harvest so I can replenish all of my canned peppers and all of the powders and all of that stuff. Dried peppers, everything. Okay, Emmy, yeah, we'll show more about the horses soon.
They're all quarter horses.
We only have 3 now.
We have 3 horses. We had 5. My mom's horse, which was a lineback dun, is with my brother. We had another lineback dun who's with friends. And we have a Appaloosa, a paint, and a chestnut bay.
Yep. Maverick, Luke, and Cyrus.
Luke, and Cyrus. And there really is a lot of more videos coming about the horses, but I've got to get this greenhouse finished and get the garden ready for planting.
Yep. Somebody asked about a live full day. I actually want to do day in the life videos. I probably will never do a live full day, just because I know that I come off as like super personable, and I am a nice person. Like, I really enjoy people. I enjoy spending time with people, but I am very introverted. Like, and some people don't get that because they think of introverts being people who just don't have any sort of like social connection. And that's not true. Introverts can be very social people. They can be great speakers. They can be friendly and happy and all of that stuff. But, it takes a lot out of me to do a lot of interaction. So a day on live sounds just absolutely terribly stressful to me.
But we have been talking about doing this a day in the life, like putting the GoPro on Ben and letting him walk around.
Yeah, somebody said I think it was Ethan that said we just need alone time. And that's true. Like, there are times that I have to just be like, okay. And it's kind of cool because Jeremiah is very extroverted. He loves being around people. It's super energizing for him to be around people. But we've really like hit a cool stride in our marriage.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even think about that.
What?
Putting the GoPro on different animals and letting them walk around with it.
I saw where somebody did that with their dog when they went out they left and they put the GoPro on their dog to see what their dog did.
Yeah, but our dogs they're not out. They're crated when we're really never gone anyway. So
yeah. People give me sensory overload.
Okay, so like Jessica's the same way. Well, because our house is usually the hub for holidays and get-togethers and things like that for my family. And so Jessica will cook and hang out for a bit, and then she goes to her room. And if people want to go hang out with Jessica, they have to go to there, and then only can be a few at a time. That's just.
I mean, I'm not like a rule about it, but like people just know.
Like
at this point, like our family just knows, and for the most part, like people will come sit back and hang out with me a little while, and or hang out in the basement while I mess with garden stuff, or in the garden. Like in the summer, I'll be in the garden.
There are definitely a lot of Canadian homesteaders because we're sending 2 seed giveaway packets tomorrow because all the giveaway stuff goes out tomorrow, by the way, to Canadian addresses. So I know that there's Canadian homesteaders that get on here and watch.
Well, you can't eat the grass. They're in Canada. Are they not?
In Canada?
I'm pretty sure. I may have that wrong. See, the frigid north is just kind of all lumped in.
Yeah, if there's a bunch of snow, it's all
Canada.
So Ethan right now is in Canada as well.
Morgan, Canada.
Morgan,
I love it. Frigid north.
I mean, seriously, he looks Canadian. So,
what does that mean?
I don't know. He just looks Canadian. Him and his French horn. I
think you've given Ethan or Morgan just a complete persona. You've just made up a person for him.
That's usually what I do until I meet someone in face to face. I'm just like, I'll just make you up.
Amanda said put the GoPro on Journey Pig or Kitten George. I'm afraid if we put it on Kitten George, we would never see it again.
Ooh, that's a bad idea, baby.
You okay? You okay? Did that scare you? Okay. It's okay. You're fine.
His foot's caught on the charger.
Okay. I'm sorry. Did that scare you?
Sorry, okay. Ben was walking across the chairs and almost fell off. And
he caught it. He was a big boy and he saved it. He was trying to bring this chalk over. Kitten George came up yesterday. I was shoveling this wood chips with Ben. We were putting wood chips down in the walkways while Maya was working on the greenhouse. And Kitten George came up and he was covered in mud.
It is close tomorrow. We gotta go Tuesday. President's Day's tomorrow, so we'll go out Tuesday. But I think it's 2 to 5 day shipping, so you should get it fairly quick.
Yeah, I'll be this week.
Also, Homestead in the Highlands, if you're still here, send us an address. We didn't get your address. Sow the land. Hey guys.
Hey.
Hello, Sow the land.
No, I don't have it, Catherine.
Also, for everyone who's so we're going to start promoting the Shindig that is coming up on April 6th. We're going to start putting it out on our regular vlog, which will be the first time that we've done that. So be looking out for that. It's going to be fun. I'm excited about it. However, on those days where we were like, hey, we're going to open up the farm for people to come visit, that's true.
Yep.
But we're also going to put you to work. So I just want you to know, Sow the land, you're welcome to come. You can build anything for me. A real carpenter.
Stiver, I saw Stivers commented. They said, "Thank y'all so much. Seriously, I never fathomed anyone would be interested in us. Our hearts are full, and thank you for the blessings. We can't wait to meet y'all." I didn't know that you guys were going to Deep South.
They're in Mississippi. They're going.
That is awesome. That is really exciting. Well, yeah. So we'll be on March 9th. We'll be at Deep South Homestead's gathering in Wiggins, Mississippi. So if you guys want to meet with us, we've already got our hotel booked. We're definitely going to be down there. I'll be speaking at that. And we're really looking forward to it. So we're going to wrap this up. Make sure you go follow the channels that we featured, Stivers Homestead. I want to see how many subs that they got while we were doing this. What were you guys at when we started? I can't remember. It was right over 100. I don't know exactly what it was. They're at 240 now, though, so that's really cool. There's a lot of people watching this, so if you guys want to go follow them, you guys can have the opportunity to make somebody's day. And then also you can eat the grass. And then follow my mods. Y'all, please love on my mods. They make this possible. Big Bear Homestead, 180 degrees from average. 2-family homestead, wholesome roots. Goldchaw Farm. Who else was on here?
Rose, Goldchaw,
I think
2-family, Big Bear. That's everybody. Amy's on here, but she's on the channel.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely go love on my mods. They make this possible. Oh, Stivers Homestead is going live tomorrow. That's interesting. Cool. Yeah.
Check them out.
I love the fact that we get to help people grow. I think that's really amazing. So yeah, y'all go love on my mods. I know Rose is getting close to a goal of 10,000.
What time are they going live?
Oh, there's
tomorrow?
Inside
8:30.
Kate's Kitchen. She helps us mod too. So,
Stivers, what time are y'all going live tomorrow?
So yeah, thank you so much for.
Oh yeah, Pure Hearts.
8:30 Eastern. So
y'all remember Dan from Pure Hearts? He helped us with the dump trailer stuff, and
yeah,
we shouted him out on that video, and he sent me a text that day. I was like, I don't know what you've done. My phone keeps blowing up. I was like, yeah, that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, that was funny when we introduced Dan. He was like, "What did you guys do?" But we put him in that video. So thank you guys so much. We adore you tremendously, and
thanks for hanging out with us again. This is again one of the highlights of my week. I love the live video.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, do you want to come say bye to everybody? That's a pretty picture.
Hey, you want to say goodnight?
Say goodnight. Dan's drawing a picture with the chalk over there. Okay, say goodnight. Say wood. All right. Good night, guys. We bless you. Until next time.